Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, life keeps pushing you down? Have you ever questioned why some people rise from their struggles while others remain stuck in the darkness? This is a story about a young man named Aryan who felt lost, hopeless, and ready to give up until he met someone who changed his life forever. It was late evening in a small village surrounded by endless fields and a quiet river flowing through the heart of the land. Aryan, a 23-year-old man, sat on the riverbank staring at the water. His heart was heavy with disappointment. He had tried everything: hard work, persistence, countless sacrifices. But success always seemed to slip through his fingers. He had failed in his business, lost his savings, and now he was drowning in the weight of his own doubts. The sky turned shades of orange and pink as the sun set, yet Aryan felt no warmth. He picked up a small stone and tossed it into the river, watching the ripples spread outward, just like the problems in his life, never ending, one leading to another. Just as he was lost in his thoughts, he heard a calm voice behind him. "A troubled mind is like a stormy river," the voice said. "It cannot reflect the truth until it learns to be still." Aryan turned to see an elderly man standing behind him. He was about 40, with wise eyes and a peaceful demeanor. His presence alone carried a sense of calmness. "Who are you?" Aryan asked, wiping his tired eyes. "Someone who has walked the path you are walking now," the man replied with a kind smile. "My name is Ravi." Aryan scoffed. "Then you must know what it feels like to fail at everything?" Ravi nodded. "Yes, and I also know that failure is not the end. It is simply the teacher we often refuse to listen to." Aryan sighed. "I've tried everything. I've worked harder than most, but life keeps knocking me down. What's the point of trying if nothing changes?" The mentor sat beside Aryan and picked up a twig, drawing a small plant in the sand. "Do you know the story of the bamboo tree?" Aryan shook his head. Ravi smiled and began his story. "A farmer once planted bamboo seeds and watered them every single day. For an entire year, he saw nothing. 2 years passed, and still nothing grew above the ground. By the 3rd year, people laughed at him. By the 4th, they called him a fool. But the farmer kept watering his seeds. Then in the 5th year, something incredible happened. The bamboo shot up nearly 80 feet in just 6 weeks. Aryan frowned. "That doesn't make sense. How could it suddenly grow so fast?" Ravi chuckled. "Because for 5 years it was growing its roots deep underground, building a foundation strong enough to support its rapid growth." Aryan remained silent as he absorbed the meaning behind the story. "You see," Ravi continued, "life works the same way. Just because you don't see results right away doesn't mean you aren't growing. Every struggle, every challenge is strengthening your roots. The question is, will you have the patience to keep watering your dreams, or will you give up just before the breakthrough?" Aryan looked back at the river. For the first time in a long time, something inside him shifted. Hope, a tiny flicker of belief. That night, Aryan couldn't sleep. Ravi's words echoed in his mind. Had he been expecting his life to change too quickly? Had he been digging up his own seeds, expecting results without allowing time for growth? The next morning, Aryan made a decision. He would not give up. He would train his mind to withstand the difficult moments, just like the bamboo tree standing tall after years of silent growth. With renewed determination, he returned to work. He learned new skills, worked harder, and most importantly, changed his mindset. Every failure became a lesson. Every challenge, an opportunity to grow. Even when progress seemed invisible, he reminded himself, his roots were growing deeper. Ravi continued to mentor him, guiding him through obstacles with wisdom and patience. Aryan learned to embrace the struggles instead of fearing them. Months passed, then a year. One evening, just as Aryan was closing his small shop, a wealthy businessman visited the village. He was looking for someone with determination and resilience to handle an important project. Aryan's name was recommended by many. The businessman was impressed by Aryan's knowledge and perseverance. "I've been searching for someone like you, someone who doesn't give up when things get tough," he said. "I want you to work with me." Aryan could hardly believe it. This opportunity was beyond what he had imagined. He accepted, and within a few months, his life changed completely. The struggles that once seemed unbearable were now the very reason he had grown strong enough to succeed. One day he stood on the same riverbank where he had once felt lost, watching the water flow peacefully. This time he smiled. Aryan's journey was not just about success, it was about learning how to train his